super high.
What's going on YouTube? What's going on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all platforms? Once again, this is Big Pat Sports Talk with another Reaction Monday for you. Gonna be reacting to some Giants video, Boomer and Gio. And they state the Giants have become the laughingstock of the NFL. And I'm gonna agree with them. We are the laughingstock in the NFL. Everybody looks forward to playing us because they see us as an easy dub. And as well as they should be. I'm going to go through some things that I'll show you about. We have players here that are just based off potential, and they're starting and they're not doing anything for this team. I'm going to show you a couple of stats on a couple of players just to hammer down my point. And we're gonna get into it. So let's get into the video and see and react to what Boomer and Gio have to say about us. So let's get into the video.
Nobody here thought they were going to win the game, but what you did think is that they would fight tooth and nail to the end of the game, and that second quarter was an unmitigated disaster. I mean, it was a disaster of proportions that almost couldn't stop it. Like, Joe Judge had no answer for it, the players had no answer for it, and it was like a tidal wave of momentum that basically just engulfed the entire Giant team. But yes,
yeah, that's exactly how it needs to be explained. That's exactly what happened. That second quarter was absolutely humiliating. 28 points in that second quarter. 28-0. That's what they beat us in that second quarter. The game ended in the second quarter. The Rams had ultimate momentum. We couldn't stop their offense. Couldn't do anything to their defense. More injuries. Bad play from Daniel Jones. His first bad game of the year. He had 4 turnovers, 3 picks, 1 fumble lost. The fumble loss wasn't his fault. I mean, Matt Pert just let the guy scream off the edge from Hike. He had another fumble that was recovered by Nate Soda, the first play of the game. He gets him crushed. One of his interceptions, Sterling Shepard slips on the route, falls, and it gets picked off. I mean, it was a total disaster, man. That game was an utterly disastrous game. Daniel Jones throws 2 picks to Tyler Rapp that were absolutely terrible. He did not take his eyes off the receiver, and Taylor Rapp just read his eyes and picked him off twice. Really could have had 3 picks that game. Taylor Rapp, because he was reading Daniel Jones' eyes the whole time. All of that happened in the second quarter, folks, and that's utterly ridiculous. We have to play harder than that. We have to have more pride than that, and that's just what it is.
Yesterday, especially with the honoring of the Super Bowl team and everybody there and the history and all the success that they had once upon a time. The Giants wake up this morning, and since 2017, they are the worst organization in football. The worst. Number 32. And when you think about that, the Jets are on that list. The Jaguars are probably on that list.
Look at that. Worst win percentage at home since 2017. We only win 1 out of every 4 games when we play at home since 2017. 1 out of every 4 games. We are below the Detroit Lions, the Washington football team, the New York Jets. Basically 25%. We've only have won 25% of our home games since 2017. That's what this organization is giving the fans. That's what the organization is giving to Giants content creators like me. And I'm a diehard fan, so I'm still gonna continue to look at the Giants. But if you're not a diehard fan like me, it's hard to be a fan of the Giants right now. Just gonna be honest with you. It's very hard to be a fan of the Giants right now. Look at that. That is garbage. We are below the Detroit Lions by 3 percentage points almost. Well, yeah, it is 3 percentage points. We have won only 25% of our home games since 2017. How woeful is that? What type of organization are we running where we can only win 25% of our damn home games? So everybody just comes to our field and know they're getting a dub. That's how low of a franchise we've become. That's how much of a laughingstock we've become. That's sad, man. And that comes from lack of talent on the field. It comes from lack of coaching. It comes from lack of inspiration. It comes from lack of teaching. It comes from lack of drafting. It comes from lack of organization, period. These damn mayors are going to have to bring somebody in and let them do their damn job and shut the hell up and back off. Because obviously what you're doing is not working. Leave this organization alone and cut the check. That's what you do. You make money. Stick to making money. Let them make the team. Maras, Chris Mara, John Mara, cut the check and collect. That's what you do. You're billionaires. You damn sure know how to make some money, and you damn sure know how to give out some money. So cut the check to your GM, cut the check to your coaches, cut the checks to your players, and let this shit run. Shut your mouth. Leave shit alone because you don't know what you're doing. And watch people at work to make this organization work. Let them make moves. Let them make draft picks. Let them bring in players that they want to bring in. Let them bring in dogs. Stop trying to bring in these shiny Corvettes that are not doing anything for us. Shut up, fall back, cut the check, and collect your money. It's stupid.
The Browns are somewhere on that list. The Lions are somewhere on that list. The Washington football team could be on that list. I mean, you're thinking about some of the worst organizations that we have sat here for years and years and years and made fun of. And right now, you have two of the New York football teams as the 4 worst teams in terms of win percentage over the last 5 years.
They are the butt of all the jokes. It's no longer the Cleveland Browns. I mean, the Houston Texans, they got blown out yesterday, but they've had their issues. I mean, they are, the Jets and Giants are the butt of the jokes. That's what it is. And I think that the Giants, because they've had success and they had those 2 Super Bowls in somewhat of recent memory, you know, nobody laughs at them like you'd laugh at the Lions or you'd laugh at the Browns. But it's starting to happen. I mean, everybody's laughing at them now. And the Jets are perennially starting over, and that's what the Giants are probably going to have to do again. And again, they're going to have to start over.
More than likely, we probably will have to start over again. Just being honest with you, probably have to start over again. And this time, if we do have to start over again, start over. Stop trying to win on the fly while rebuilding. That's why we're getting our ass kicked like this. We're trying to rebuild, and win at the same time. That's why we get people like Billy Price, Matt Skura, all these different type of offensive linemen we keep bringing in. That's why we keep getting people like that. It's time to rebuild. It's time to rebuild with fresh, new players, fresh, new draft picks, and teach these guys what you want them to do. If you have a system in place, you're going to need new people to bring in here. I'm not going to say dumb, but just oblivious to the NFL game and is willing to listen and willing to put in the effort because they're trying to make their name known. So you're going to get maximum effort. We're not getting maximum effort from these players, and I'm going to show you a couple of players that really, really don't deserve to be on this field. But yes, we are the laughingstock of the NFL. Giants fans, we're going to have to accept it. We're the butt of everybody's jokes, and it's well deserved.
And this is usually what makes owners and react to their team, and that is when you are celebrating a Super Bowl team, and you're bringing back the key players, the coach, and everything else, and 20,000 people are missing. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. 20,000 are missing when you're celebrating a Super Bowl team. They're booing because this franchise sucks right now. We are absolutely terrible, utterly terrible. But the first player I'm going to show you who really doesn't deserve to be here, and he's a starter on this team, a focal point on this team, on our defense, is Mr. Lorenzo Carter. Mr. Lorenzo Carter, number 59, New York Giants, outside linebacker, edge rusher. That's what they call him, an edge rusher. Let me show you something, man. In 4 years, he has a total of 64 tackles. In a total of 4 years, he has a total of 64 tackles. That is 16 tackles a year. He averages, as our outside linebacker, he averages 16 tackles a year. That's what he averages. That is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. So you mean to tell me as an outside linebacker on this team, you are averaging only 16 tackles a year? That is crazy. That is crazy. Let's get to his sacks. Since 2018, 4 years, he has a total of 9.5 sacks. In 4 years, he has a total of 9.5 sacks. This is your premier edge rusher. This is who we put on the field to be our premier edge rusher. Since 2018, 4 full years, he has a total of 9.5 sacks. So he's not even averaging 3 sacks a season. He's averaging 2.5 sacks a season. Really not even 2.5, like 2.25 sacks a season. He has 1 interception in 4 years. Not really looking at interceptions. Do you know in 4 years this guy has only 1 forced fumble? In 4 years, he has only 1 forced fumble and hasn't had one since 2019. In his 4 year as a premier pass rusher, as we call this guy, he has 1 forced fumble in 4 years as the premier pass rusher, the guy that you're supposed to fear as our best pass rusher. In 4 years, he has 1 forced fumble. This is our premier edge rusher. So in 4 years, he has 64 tackles, 16 tackles a year. Sacks, he has 9.5 in 4 years. That means he's getting only 2.25 sacks a year. In 4 years, he has 1 forced fumble in 4 years. That's 0.25 forced fumbles a year. 1 fumble recovery. So you mean to tell me in 4 years you can only put up 64 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery in 4 years? Premier edge rushers do more than that in 10 to 11 to 12 games. This man has played a total of 41 games in 4 years. In 41 games, you got 64 tackles, 9.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, and 41 games played. And this is our premier edge rusher. And you sit there and be baffled why we can't get any pass rush, because we got guys like this. That's our premier pass rusher. Let's go to another guy. Let's go to another guy, man. This is utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Let's go to another guy. Another guy that should not be anywhere near the field. Anywhere near the field. Mr. O'Shane Ximines. Now look at this. In 3 years, this man has a total of 20. He has a total of 10 solo tackles in 3 years. A total of 10 tackles in 3 years. A total of 4.5 sacks in 3 years. A total of 4.5 sacks in 3 years. Has no forced fumbles, has no fumble recoveries, and a total of 4.5 sacks in 3 years. So you mean to tell me in a total of 4 years, a combined total of 67 games, because he's played a total of 26 games in his career. Lorenzo Carter has a total of 41 games in his career. So a total of 67 games. He has 16 total tackles, not 10, 16 total tackles. So you mean to tell me a total of 4 years between the two guys, you have a total 67 games played, might add. You have a total of 80 tackles, 14 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery with 2 guys. With 2 guys in a total of 4 years. That's a good season for one premier edge rusher. That's a good season. And these guys put up those numbers in 4 years. And you wonder why we don't have any pass rush? Because we're dependent on guys like this. We're dependent on guys like this. Are you serious? Are you serious? In a total of 4 years, our 2 starting edge rushers who've been here 3 years and 4 years, in a total of all their season stats combined, they have a total of 80 tackles, which averages out to 20 tackles a year. They have a total of 14.5 sacks in 4 years. That's barely over 3 sacks a year, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery between the 2. So you have counted for 2 turnovers in 4 years. And these are your premier edge rushers, Mr. O'Shane Ximines and Lorenzo Carter. That's the product we're putting on the field. These are the 2 guys that we expect we expect to go out there and win games for us. Go out there and cause havoc. Do you know the year that we had a good defense, these 2 guys weren't even on the field? It was Kyler Fackrell, Carter Coughlin, Cam Brown, Jabal Sheard, Marcus Golden. He had 10 sacks in 1 year for us. 10. So in 1 year, he almost got as many sacks as both of these guys combined in 4 years. But we let Marcus Golden go. We let Kyler Fackrell go. We don't play Carter Coughlin. We let Jabal Sheard go. We let Dalvin Tomlinson go. That's why our defense is not doing good. Because the dogs that we have on our team, we release them for guys like this. We release dogs on our team for guys like this. And I'm going to tell you the stats again. In over 4 years, these 2 premier edge rushers that's supposed to be the top guys for our team have a total of 80 tackles, 14.5 sacks. Well, 14 sacks. 14 sacks in 4 years. 1 interception, which just happened against the Cowboys the week before this demolishment by the Rams. 1 forced fumble and 1 fumble recovery. And you wonder why we're not getting any pass rush? What organization in their right mind will put their faith in guys like this? This is why we're getting destroyed. Obviously, they're not doing anything against the run. You only have 80 tackles combined in 4 years. So obviously, you're not getting your nose in there against the run. You're not getting to the quarterback. You're not causing turnovers. You're not causing any impact. What the hell are we thinking? And this is just 2 guys. I could keep going on and on with other guys, but this is just 2 guys that I just realized these guys have been on this team multiple years. One got 4, the other got 3. You get injured, and then when you're on the field, you don't produce. And we got rid of guys like Kyler Fackrell, who's balling out there in Los Angeles. Marcus Golden, who's balling with the Cardinals. Jabal Sheard. We got Carter Coughlin. He gets more pressure than these guys. I'd rather have Cam Brown and Carter Coughlin in there. Do you know Ojulari in his first 3 games got their league average for over 4 years? Ojulari had 3 sacks in his first 3 games. He got their average of sacks combined in 3 games. Think about that. In 4 years, they have 14 sacks. That means you're getting about 3.3 sacks a year over the course of 4 years combined. Not just by themselves, combined. Azeez Ojulari came in here his rookie year and got 3 sacks his first 3 games and tied their production. And you wonder why we don't get any pass rush. Because we got faith in guys like this. And guys like Lorenzo Carter. So this is why our pass rush is absolutely trash. And this has been Reaction Monday. I just want you guys to sit there and think about that, man. Just think about that. Our 2 premier edge rushers have a total of 80 tackles, 14 sacks, 1 interception, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 forced fumble in a total of 4 years. And this is their stats combined. Not by themselves. Combined. And we got these guys on the field like they're supposed to get pass rush. We got these guys on the field like they're supposed to be leaders. We got these guys on the field like they're supposed to be our dogs and get after the quarterback and cause havoc. What havoc are they causing? Who fears them? Who in the hell in the league fears them? I don't fear them, and I know I can't play left tackle. But I damn sure try. If they told me to go out and try, these would be the 2 guys I'll go against. That is utterly trash. Let's just call it what it is. That's why this roster has to be purged. You got to get guys like this off the roster. That's why I say the things that I say. It's not all coaching, although the coaching could be a lot better. It's not all coaching, man. Some of these players that are here are just collecting checks. And that's just the honest truth. And I just showed you 2 of them. In 4 years, their stats combined are 80 tackles. That's 20 tackles a year for 2 outside linebackers. 20 tackles a year. 14 sacks combined in 4 years. 14 sacks combined in 4 damn years. 1 forced fumble in 4 years. 1 fumble recovery in 4 years, and 1 interception in 4 years. I'm not even mad about the interception. You're outside linebacker, you're a pass rusher. You're not going to get many of those. But you only have 1 forced fumble and 1 fumble recovery in 4 years. 80 tackles in 4 years. 14 sacks in 4 years from your 2 premier edge rushers on this team. Some backups get more than that. In half the time. Marcus Golden had 10 sacks in 1 year. Had a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Probably had more forced fumbles. Like, that's crazy. We get rid of him, but we keep these dudes. Why? Based off potential. That's why we're getting our ass kicked. We're trying to save face on draft picks that didn't work out. Good teams, they get rid of those guys once they see who they are. That's why I said this season, show me who you are. And these guys are showing you. And you continue to put them on the field. And that's why you get blown out 38-11, 44-20 by good teams. Because you could keep putting guys like these guys on the field, expecting them to do something, and then they're not going to do anything for you. They've shown you who they are. Like Mike Singletary said, can't coach them, can't teach them, can't win with them, can't play with them. You just can't. And we continue to put guys on this field, and you're going to continue to see the product that they're putting on the field. We're going to continue to see us get blasted by good teams. You continue to see us lose and lose and lose and lose some more because of guys like these. We have in premier positions. There's no way in possible hell that these 2 dudes should be your 2 premier edge rushers on the team. No way in hell. They're playing like special teams players. And you know what? I'll take a premier special teams player because I know that guy's going to give way more effort than what these 2 guys are giving. It's a damn shame. Let's get some dogs in here, y'all. Let's get some dogs in because this shit here is ridiculous and it's uncalled for. And you got to be smarter than this. I'm a content creator, and I just pointed out that these 2 dudes have literally been robbing us for the past 3 and 4 years. I ain't got nothing else to say on these guys. I showed you the stats. I showed you the bio on these guys. I'm not gonna call them scrubs. They made it to the NFL, but they're just not premier edge rushers in this league. And it's time to get rid of them. And that's just 2 guys that I just pointed out to you. Just 2. So we can blame the coaches. We can blame whatever we want to blame. But the main thing is we got players like this at premier positions. We got an owner that doesn't know how to shut up and step back. We got a GM with questionable draft decisions. We got a coaching staff that don't know how to put players in the right position to succeed, even though that's what he says he was going to do when he came to the team. And we just got players that just don't play with heart. They don't have any impact on the game. And that's why you see what happened to us this past Sunday, 38-11. Injuries, yes, playing a major part, but when you got guys like this playing in premier positions, you're going to continue to be the laughing stock of the league. You're going to continue to have teams aching to play us. because they know they don't even have to worry about their edge. The quarterback is so comfortable playing against us. You know why? Because we got players like these playing at both edge positions that give you no impact whatsoever. None. And that's just two players. You get rid of those two players, our defense might be a whole lot better. Because it was last year when we had Kyler Fackrell. I don't care that Kyler Fackrell was 31-32. I could give a damn. Go out there and ball. Kyler Fackrell will be giving us more than this. This man don't even have a sack this year. This man only got 3 solo tackles. In 6 games, he has 3 tackles. And this is your premier edge rushers. In 6 games, this man has 3 tackles. I don't know what to say. If I could see it, I know the coaching staff should see it. I know the GM should see it. I know the owner should see it. Somebody should see this. Somebody should see this. Let's just be real. Somebody should see this. We got players like this. Shane Zimenez, Lorenzo Carter, in 4 seasons combined, 80 tackles, 14 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. And these 2 guys on the field every Sunday, and they're supposed to be rushing the passer and causing havoc. This is why. This is why right here. Guys like this. Scattered throughout the team. It's time to wake up, y'all. Coaching staff, Dave Gettleman. It's time to wake up, man. It's time to purge us from players like these. Stop putting these guys on the field. Stop putting Evan Ingram on the field. Stop putting Rudolph on the field if they don't want to produce. You got a guy in Caden Smith who's ready to play and will give it his all. Will he be a Pro Bowl tight end? No. But have we ever had a Pro Bowl tight end besides Jeremy Shockey? This 20th century? No, we had people like Kevin Boss and Jake Ballard. They weren't all-stars. They just did what they had to do. Does Lorenzo Carter or Shane Zimenez remind you of OC or Strahan or JPP or Kiwanuka or Tuck or anybody that we previously had? Shit, Chris Canty, Fred Robbins, Dalvin Tomlinson, Jonathan Hankins, Barry Cofield, Snacks Harrison. These guys are not even Oliver Vernon. And we continue to put these guys on the field. That's what we do. And this is why people are laughing. This is why teams are ready to play us. This is why we get our ass whooped at home every time we play at home. 25 win percentage at home since 2017. You know why? Because we keep putting people like this on the field. Expecting them to be something. And it's insanity. They continue to put these they continue to put these non-productive, non-impact players on the field and expecting them to do something. It's the very definition of insanity. You continue to put these guys out here and expect a different result, and they've shown you who they are. It's absolutely insanity. And that's why we're getting our ass kicked every Sunday. Because we continue to put our faith in players that have shown us who they are. They're not going to change. They're not going to do anything different. They're not going to make any impact. These guys are barely making splash plays. They're not going to help you in the run game. They're not going to help you in the passing game by getting pass rush. They're not going to help you by getting people motivated. They're not leaders. They might be likable people, but I want players that don't want to be like. I want players to get the job done. Oh, another defensive tackle we had, Linval Joseph. We continue to get rid of guys like that, but keep guys like this on the roster. Players like Dalvin Tomlinson are expendable, but we hold on to these guys like they just gold. I don't understand it. It's insanity. It's utterly insane to continue to put these guys on this field and think that we're going to get different results. It's sad. It's somber because there's plenty of guys on other rosters that will come in here and give you more than that. That'll give you more than that. These guys are making millions to do utterly nothing. And it's sad. But I just wanted to show you guys on Reaction Monday. This video went kind of long because I have a lot to say about my Giants team because I'm passionate about them. And I see things like this and wonder why my coaching staff, my scouts, my GM, my owner doesn't see things like this. It's just, whew. I don't understand it. Get guys like this off this team. I don't like calling for people's jobs, but man, this production here, this is worth a release. If you could release Dalvin Tomlinson and say, hey, you're expendable, we don't need you, you damn sure can release guys like this and say we don't need them either. And that's just fact. But this has been Reaction Mondays, man. This is Big Pat Sports Talk. You know I'm going to talk my talk no matter what anybody thought. Give these guys the boot. And I'm Big Blue. Till I'm through, you know that's true. And I'm going to continue to make content for you guys. It's kind of hard, but hey, I'm going to keep pushing, you know. I'm a diehard Giants fan, so they got my loyalty, man. And loyalty means a lot to me. But I'm only loyal to people who's worth it. These guys are not worth your loyalty. They're just not. They're not giving you anything, and they're not going to produce anything for you. So it's time to break. It's time to break that relationship. It's time to get rid of them. They're no good for you. They're bringing you down. It's almost toxic. But hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. New subscribers, put I subscribe in the chat. Let me know that you're a new subscriber. And if you have a channel, even if you don't have a channel, I'm going to give you a shout out in my next video because I love the support that you guys have given me. And I'm going to keep grinding for you. And I'm going to continue to be Big Pat Sports Talk. You know I'm going to give you the content. And I'm going to keep doing it. No matter how bad this team gets, I'm still going to find silver linings and I'm still going to tell you the truth straight to your face. Big Blue all over the place. And believe it or not, fans, we are not that far off from being a good team. We just got to get rid of clowns like this. But until the next video, peace.
Super high.